Hello everyone, Jeff Eccles with The Lonely Vine, and happy Thanksgiving. A little bit early, but I just wanted to wish you that. I'm sure I'll wish you again throughout the show, but it is mid to late November, so Thanksgiving's in the air, Christmas is around the corner, and for the wine folks out there, there's one other kind of big date in there, and that's the third Thursday of every November when the big release comes out. What is the big release, you ask, if you don't already know? It is the release of the Beaujolais Nouveau wines. Now, what are those? Those are the first wines you can get every year from that current year's vintage. So the 2012 harvested grapes have been made into wine, and they've been released on the third Thursday of every November. And this is the label for this year's crop. This is the George Dubouf, and he's kind of the guy that started this whole thing. It's kind of a wine nerd phenomenon, especially, like if you look in France, where they celebrate it big time, but even the US, they have midnight release parties. It's a worldwide thing, and it's fun. And it's kind of a thing to celebrate, the year, celebrate the harvest, experience the first wine of that year, and that's kind of what the wine shows as well. It's going to be kind of light, it's going to be lively, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be delicious. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And every year it's a different design for the label. This year it's kind of got the shiny little stars on it. You can scan the QPR on the back if you've got I think you need an iPad or an iPhone, and there's an app for it, and you can have what do they call it, a augmented reality of Beaujolais Nouveau. So it's kind of this fun, festive, celebratory wine that amazingly enough is going to be a good wine to pair with your Thanksgiving dinner. I know, you've got your sparklings, you've got your Chardonnays, you've got your Pinot Noirs, you've got your Zinfandels, all these wines that are great pairings with Thanksgiving dinner. But this is another one, and the good thing about this one is it's $10 a bottle. And it's something that even the people that don't drink wine are probably going to like, because it's just fun and good and delicious. But that's enough of what I think it will be. Maybe we should find out what it actually is. So let's get into it here a little bit. And kind of right away, you'll notice it's pretty light. And I should also point out, this is the Gamay grape. If anything from Beaujolais, it's going to be the Gamay grape. This is the Burgundy region in France. I'm sure most of you already know this, but just in case you don't, I want to fill you in. I want to make this educational and fun, or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty light. See if I twirl it, if you can get a little bit more sense of the lightness of it. A new glass, by the way. I don't know if you can see this or not. I think I've mentioned viticulture before. I'm going on a lot of tangents today. Sorry. Viticulture is a board game, a game that I put some money into on Kickstarter. It's all set in Tuscany, and it's about running a winery, so why wouldn't I get involved in it? So viticulture, look for that. It's going to be out in the springtime. Anyway, back to the wine. Let's get the nose into, there's no real staining on there. You really wouldn't expect it out of these wines. And since I'm on tangents, I may as well go on another one. One interesting thing about the Beaujolais Nouveau is when you normally are making a wine, you harvest the grapes, you put them through the crush, the press, and you get the juice out of it, and maybe you put the skins in contact with it, and then you start the fermentation, yada, yada, yada. But with these, the grapes go through initially what's called carbonic maceration, and that's where the yeast is allowed to start fermenting the sugars while they're still in the grapes, or whole cluster fermentation. So it adds a little bit difference to it. Let's get into it now. All right, so on the nose, so it's got a very candied kind of smell to it. Think like maybe like Twizzlers, like strawberry candy, that kind of thing. Maybe like a Jolly Rancher. Like if you melted a Jolly Rancher and then were able to smell it, I think you're getting a little bit of that. Maybe the watermelon Jolly Rancher, maybe the cherry Jolly Rancher, maybe a combination with a little bit of apple in there too. Because there's some tartness to it. There's a little bit of that cranberry, kind of that tart kind of smell to it. Yeah, and the candified thing really comes through. A lot of times with Gamay grape, you'll get like a bubblegum kind of component. I'm really not getting that in this, but I am getting that candied sugar kind of smell. Yeah. Yep, and then there's a little bit of raspberry there too. So a lot of red fruits, a lot of light red fruits, some candy, and apparently a concoction of melted Jolly Ranchers. Get it? You got the mental picture of what I'm smelling here? Okay, so now on to the palate. Let's see if those nostril components come across in the palate, in the mouthful components. So pretty interesting. It's not sweet. It's actually a very dry wine. And therein, this would go good with turkey. I mean, it really would. But that tartness really comes through. It really comes through on the finish as well. It's almost mouth puckering. There's definitely some strawberry. There's definitely that cranberry. And there's, and I'm very surprised by this, but I'm so surprised. I'm going to have to go in again, I think. I'm getting this very distinct black pepper component in it, which is really surprising me. Real nice acidity to this. And again, it's really light. It's really fun. It's really drinkable. And for $10 a bottle, you can have 2 or 3 bottles around the Thanksgiving dinner table. Not at the kids' table, obviously. They would probably like this, though. It tastes so good. But on that same note, it's not overly complex. It's not something that you would, wax on pontifically about how amazing it is. But it is very good. It tastes great. It's going to pair with a lot of light foods, that you'd be serving at a dinner table. And it's going to be enjoyed by a lot of people, which is good at Thanksgiving Day celebration. So, I think that's going to be it. I think I'm going to call it quits there. I hope all of you have a great festive and safe Thanksgiving. For me, of course, I want to thank all of you, anybody that's ever watched one of these silly little shows that I do. I really want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. The people that have commented, that means the world to me. It's really appreciated, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope to be able to keep doing it and bringing you fun and entertaining wine television. Not television, but interwebavision, something like that. So, happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and until next time, cheers.